Russia fires a volley of drones across Ukraine. Kyiv claims at least 2 killed and 27 others injured in overnight Russian strikes in Kharkiv and Sumy regions. Ukraine, on the other hand, continues to strike Russia. This even as U.S. warns that it could end efforts to broker a ceasefire if it did not see progress soon. Here's more.
Russia is raining a combination of missiles and drones across Ukrainian cities, marking an escalation in the war. Kharkiv, the second largest city in Ukraine, has become a focal point of Russia's bombing campaign. Ukraine says Russia targeted a densely populated area of the city in its overnight strikes. It claims Moscow carried out the attack using ballistic missiles with cluster ammunitions.
We were asleep. I saw some kind of flash. I don't know. Everything flew around. There was smoke. My wife took our daughter from the room there and gave her to me. We covered her in a blanket. We first thought the blood on her was mine, but then we found out that she had a shrapnel injury near her eye.
Tension along the front lines is escalating with every passing day. Both sides have intensified their cross-border attacks. In Sumy, which is a mere 30 kilometers from the Russian border, has seen fresh strikes on Good Friday. Ukraine says Russia pounded the city using Iranian-made Shahid drones. The strikes damaged apartment buildings, an educational institution, and a business. This comes just days after Russia's devastating attack on the northeastern city last weekend, which Ukraine claims killed 35 people and injured over 100 others. Ukraine is conducting deep strikes inside Russia. The Ukrainian military says that it has targeted Russian missile brigade, which targeted Sumy. Ukraine's aerial assault inside Shuya town, which is nearly 320 kilometers from Moscow, has stunned Russia. After Atacams and Storm Shadow, Kyiv is eyeing the much-desired Taurus missile from Germany. Berlin, which was reluctant earlier, has finally given the go-ahead for the 500-kilometer range missile to Kyiv. Russia warns new missiles will amount to Germany directly entering the war. US President Donald Trump's patience is wearing thin. He expects to hear from his Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin this weekend.
We'll see what that will be. We're going to be hearing from them this week, very shortly actually, and we'll see. But we want it to stop. We want the death and the killing to stop.
US is holding talks with its European allies and Ukrainian leaders in Paris, and with things not moving forward, Washington is getting frustrated and warns that it could abandon the truce talks.
If it's not possible, if we're so far apart that this is not going to happen, then I think the president's probably at a point where he's going to say, well, we're done. You know, we'll do what we can on the margins. We'll be ready to help whenever you're ready to have peace. But we're not going to continue with this endeavor for weeks and months on end. So we need to determine very quickly now, and I'm talking about in a matter of days, whether or not this is doable over the next few weeks. If it is, we're in. If it's not, then we have other priorities to focus on as well.
On the other hand, Moscow says that the talks with US on ending the war in Ukraine are ongoing, but things are complicated. Clearly, the goalposts on the truce is changing constantly, and the chances of the 3-year-long war ending in near future looks slim. Bureau Report, WION World is One.